Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking to Lose. I'm your host, Jeffrey Hattrick, and tonight's going to be a very interesting episode. I'm preparing a wonderful lean and green meal for you tonight, but it's a recipe I've never tried before, I've never eaten, and I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out. So if you're actually viewing this video, it means it turned out okay. If you're not viewing this video, well, you won't be viewing this video, so it won't really matter anyway. What I thought we would do tonight, as many of you know, I'm the tea specialist for the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and the founder of jeffreystea.com. So I was thinking it would be kind of fun to play with one of my special teas, my spring blend in fact. It's a chrysanthemum blossom oolong with bergamot. Isn't it fun to say oolong? Anyway, I thought it would be great to try baking some breasts of chicken with my chrysanthemum blossom oolong tea, and then we're also going to have some steamed bok choy, hence why I'm dressed like a samurai, because we're making bok choy. That was really dorky, but it's fine. Anyway, so what we're going to do tonight, we're going to just have a little fun with cooking to lose. So what we're going to do is start with brewing some of my chrysanthemum blossom oolong tea with bergamot. I actually have some of the tea right here. I want you to take a look at it. Look at those beautiful chrysanthemum flowers and some very large leaf Taiwan oolong. What we're going to do is I've actually boiled some hot water already. Look, you can see it steaming. This is real. And I've got one of my little signature Jeffrey's tea teapots. If you don't have one of those, give me a call. I'd be happy to get one for you. I prepared a little sachet of tea. This is about 3.5 tablespoons of tea because I want to make a really intense concentrate, because we're actually going to pour that over the chicken in our baking pan as we put it in the oven to cook. Alright. It's actually a beautiful yellow color. I'd like to show you what that's going to turn out to be. I'll show you as it goes further, but for the moment, there is beautiful tea. We're going to let that steep for about 5 minutes. So that will be 6:57 when it's time to get that going. In the meantime, let's prep our bok choy. I love bok choy. If you haven't had bok choy, here it is. It's very healthy, full of antioxidants. I like to steam it, but it's also really good if you just want to have it raw. I really love the leafy part of it, but after I cook it, it gets a little wimpy. So tonight I'm actually going to chop off the leafy part. And we're going to save that till, I don't know, tomorrow. I'll cook it with something else. I'm not sure what. So, let's go ahead here. I think this is the wrong knife. My friend Harris at the Ritz-Carlton teaches me how to cut, and I always use, I think that's the wrong knife too. Let's use this one. This is a great knife. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. Yeah, that kind of works. Now we have little mini baby bok choys. We're going to put those into our pan right here. I'll save the leaves for tomorrow. I think I'll cut a little less. And here we go, just preparing. Our tea is still steeping. Now what's going to be interesting as well, I told you that we are actually going to use our tea in the baking process for the chicken breasts. Well, I thought it would be kind of fun to have the entire thing be in our chrysanthemum blossom oolong tea with bergamot. So over on the stove here, I've got some water boiling, and we're actually going to steam these bok choy in this pan. But what we're also going to do is we're going to put the tea into the water in which the bok choy is steeping, or steaming if you will, so we can get some of that nice aroma. So this is about a cup of tea. I don't know if it's the right quantity, but I want to get some nice aroma, so we're going to pour that straight into the pan. The water's already boiling. You can't really see it, but we're essentially steeping some tea in a large pot. We have our bok choy right here in our steaming vessel, and I'm just going to set this right here on top, and I want to cover it with my fancy dancy lid, and we're just going to let that steam for a little while. I believe we have just a moment longer to steep our tea here. It's coming along really nicely, as you can see. Oolong comes out to be typically, you know, a little bit lighter color, or at least this particular oolong does. It smells really wonderful. It's one of my favorite blends of tea. It's supposed to be reminiscent of an English tea garden. So picture yourself sitting in the English countryside surrounded by wildflowers, and this is the smell you would be experiencing. Alright, now let me go ahead and get our chicken breasts so we can prep those for us. Don't worry, I'm not far away. Just right over here. Alright, 2 beautiful chicken breasts. We're going to put those straight into our baking pan. And I don't know exactly if this is going to work, but I have gone ahead and actually crushed some of our tea as well. So instead of like salt and pepper, like a normal seasoning, we're actually going to dust this with some of our crushed oolong tea. It is organic, it's edible, and I just thought it might actually give us a nice little flavor. We will find out. If you're watching this video, it worked out. If you're not watching this video, it didn't work out, but you won't be watching it, so you won't know. Alright, I'm actually going to take this tea because when I bake my chicken, I like to have some chicken broth or a little water, something to keep it moist and hold on to those juices. We are just going to go right ahead and pour this right over the top, just around the chicken, leaving the crushed oolong right on top. This looks good, looks good, looks good. Can you see what I'm doing here? Yes, yes, yes. That may be a little bit more liquid than what we need, but I think it's actually okay. I have our oven set to 375, ready to bake, and we're going to tuck this right in there, and I think I'm probably going to let that sit for just about 30 minutes. Sounds like it should be reasonable. I'll check on it. In the meantime, I've got this wonderful tea sitting here, so while we sit and wait, I think I will just have a lovely cup of chrysanthemum blossom oolong tea with a hint of bergamot. We'll see you shortly. Alright everyone, we're back. It's been about 35 minutes since I last saw you. The chicken is baking. I actually discovered partway through that the bok choy doesn't take quite so long to cook, so I turned the stove off for a while and just started that back up about 5 minutes ago. Bok choy is a little bit delicate, and so we didn't want it to get too overcooked. I had a great time during the break. I was playing some Wii tennis. I won 1 set, the other people won 1 set. Thank goodness I was wearing my samurai headband. Anyway, while the chicken finishes up, let's go ahead and get the bok choy prepared, get those on the plate, and by the time we're done, I think the chicken will be ready. So, we've got the bok choy that's been cooking over here on the stove the entire time. Let's just slide it right up here so you can get a good look, or a little bit of a look anyway. So we are going to take this bok choy out. Bok choy! I think I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Remember, this is just a trial by error, but I am actually going to try to cut these in half, because I know that they're pretty when they're opened. We're going to grace the sides of our plate right there with our lovely bok choy. This is very hot, so it's kind of difficult to cut and prep, and I'm pretty sure that you would like to see what I'm doing. So since I'm here, look, I have no camera crew, so let's just move this down just a little bit. Look how nice that looks. Oh, you can still see me. So here's our bok choy. We're going to take this, cut it lengthwise, because look how beautiful the inside of that is. Isn't that kind of pretty? So let's keep layering these right on the side of our plate. About 3 of these bok choy is going to be 3 servings of our green part of our meal. Whoops. Make sure they all point the same way, because that's very important. Presentation, as you know, is very, very important. Let's cut the rest of these, get them laid out accordingly. I think this is actually going to turn out to be really nice. I wish that you could smell this wonderful oolong tea that has been steaming yeah, that was kind of hot. That's been steaming this beautiful bok choy, because it's just filled the kitchen with such a wonderful, slightly citrus, slightly peppery bergamot and chrysanthemum aroma. Alright, how do you think these plates are starting to turn out? Rather lovely. You'll see I took a couple of the leafy part of the bok choy right here and decorated it in the middle, because we're going to put chicken right there in the center. Alright, let's flip that cutting board over, because we don't want to have cross-contamination. And I'm going to venture a guess that our chicken is just about done. Yeah, I think so. Here, smell. Actually, that does smell quite nice. You will notice that about halfway through my tennis match on Wii, I decided, that would be nice with a little slice of lemon on top, because bergamot is sort of a citrus, lemony fruit. So I did put a few slices of lemon right on top, just to enhance that aroma. I'm going to get rid of those lemon slices now. And look, the oolong tea has actually hydrated nicely on top of the chicken. I think it's going to give it a really nice flavor. So let's take these chicken breasts off. Make sure that they are cooked through and through. Oh, I don't want that knife, because I've already used it. I don't want that knife, because it's the wrong knife. I want this knife. So let's go ahead and see if I have listened to my chefs over at the Ritz-Carlton and how to cook and cut. I'm sure Vahid, our butcher right now, is absolutely mortified at the way that I'm doing this. Ouch. This is seriously, I mean, I don't exactly know how this episode came to be. I think it's because my friend Josh really wanted me to have an episode on tonight. So, here you go, Josh. Here's your oolong chicken. Alright. Slide that right onto the plate. You know, it doesn't really look that bad. Let's get the second one here. Let's slice this right up as well. Just a little diagonal cut, so I can have a nice visual presentation, because as you know, on Cooking to Lose, the visual presentation is extremely important. I've been waiting for several of you to send me some more beautiful plates. Remember, 2, because I'm cooking for 2. But so far, they have not arrived in the mail. So please send me a note. I'll send you my address, and we will use your plates on the next episode. In the meantime, we're using my minimalist plates. Alright, you know, for not having a clue about what I was cooking tonight, this actually looks pretty good. And it does have the essence of chrysanthemum blossom oolong with bergamot, just like this. Well, I will let you know after dinner if this actually worked, or if you see it online, it must have worked. So if you have any other questions about the lean and green meals, the MetaFast plan, or Take Shape for Life, please give me a call. Otherwise, until next time, bon appetit. Well, I thought I'd better give you a little recap on my creative cooking evening, and I have to report that it was pretty darn good. So we got everything on the plate. One thing that I did discover is bergamot, which has an inherently kind of peppery zest to it, really gets a little powerful when it is actually cooked into the food. But it was really good. I did add a little bit of pepper on top. This is my little pepper shaker. This is my little salt shaker. They're pretty cute. But I probably didn't necessarily need that. And it was really fun cooking with the tea. If you're looking for this particular blend, it's one of my signature blends, as I mentioned. You can read about it on jeffreystea.com. Just send me an email and we'll figure out a way to get it in your hands. It was really wonderful. And I guess this is just an example to don't be afraid to play with interesting flavors. What's the worst that can happen? You come up with a beautiful meal. So, until next week, have a great evening and, yet again, bon appetit. Oh.